Biểu ơi cờ đà bồng.
The Mian. These are the faces of a lost generation, sons and daughters of refugees of a dying race. Hear their story.
Mian people originally come from China. Now, if the question is, where originally, in the very first, do the Mian people originate? Nobody really knows the exact answer to that.
Trying to find the true origins of a culture is probably impossible. But when experts fail to provide us all the answers, we turn to myths and legends.
Well, legends, stories, myths tells us that we were once a proud people from China. We used to have a nation. We did not have a state, we had a nation. We had a king, but eventually the Chinese had overtaken our nation and then therefore has basically took our country away, and we became nationless people roaming in the highland, in the periphery of Chinese civilization.
The Chinese called the Mian Yao. In other words, barbarians. Famine and war over land drove the Mian to mass migrate.
There are different waves of migration. It did not all take place at one time. The most recognizable, or the legend that has almost all the elders or the Mian older generation know about, is the crossing of the sea.
As they left from probably Nanjing area in central China, some must have gone one direction and come down to the sea and taken to the boats, and another group must have gone by land, because that group does not have that story. Some made it then finally to the coast of Guangdong province, and then scattered out from there, some going on to the west in China, into Guangxi and Yunnan, some going on down into Vietnam.
Chinese expansion continued until the 1900s, and that's when some of the Mian began to migrate to southern part of the peninsula into Southeast Asia, because the land is still vast amount of virgin jungles down there, because Mian in the mountain practice primarily slash and burn, and the way to live through that type of life is you have to keep on moving, and that's how we move into Laos.
The Mian has a saying, "Man man, hum hum, gong gong." Slowly, slowly, think think, talk talk. For a race always on the move, thinking about one's situation and waiting it out are often the only solution. But when conditions such as the Chinese Cultural Revolutions are too much to bear, there is no time to think and talk. The journey didn't end for my grandma in Laos. A war was about to break out in the region, the Vietnam War.
When CIA came in, they needed to recruit different ethnic minority groups to become soldiers, to be the soldiers to fight in the secret war. And the only way they could organize that was if they helped the different ethnic groups organize themselves. That's when they selected Chow Mai as our first Mian leader.
菲律宾的 CIA 呢มีเจ้าเขานี่เจ้าเรียกว่าอีบุมีอัมฟังมีเจ้าทิป recording มีเรียกว่าจะสละฝูงชงฝูงยุ่น
bữa ta tàng cái thím mà bữa mấy kilo nắng hiếu ở thì nó tàng cái quan nạn ta bố biết khuyết ta ở chỉ với đào đi mình à bữa ta bưởi là đào đi bữa ta khúc đấy là cái đi là đi nhỉ mà tên nó chả xa ta về chứ là bỏ bữa nhá từ khi bỏ thì dường như là thím sẽ bỏ số tại bia ta như thế là giàu tuổi ta bỏ thì dường hơi nhá chả.
It turns out the United States dropped more conventional bombs on Laos than has ever been dropped in any country in the history of warfare, more than were dropped on Japan during World War II. The entire Mien population in Nam Ta was basically relocated out of that place in 1963 at the United States order, as puppet Lao forces swept into Nam Ta and took over all of northern Laos.
When the American forces withdrew, we were left to fend for ourselves.
Bữa biểu bữa hạt chó bữa biểu xuất đảng nè bữa như family này bữa leave the family behind nè nếu dù nói bữa biểu xuất mình bữa nó tốn tiền kiếm bữa chỉ là integram rồi thế cho bữa như mong tới này mới mong tới trên hạt đào lên buồn chén buồn này là bữa thế để mình hiểu trên bên mong tới trên là bữa bị cái biểu anh xuất thế.
Most of us left our homelands in Laos. Then we moved into the refugee camps in Thailand. Today there are over 25,000 of our people in the States. The vast majority still lives in China.
Của nhà nóng ở tại ở dưới quê chợ lót của người Sala chọn rồi đi kiếm nông than thì chọn rồi mình con biết tập tiếp chân là y chia giáo trông tháo này sẽ bỏ thì ơi nhiệt thốn bất tại này.
My grandma later lost 2 more children. Now she's left with only 1 son and a daughter.
Ibu này ibu ya cô ya giao tháng người anh tôi là cậu nhóm cậu mười nhóm gai.
Cô yema hai là cô bao nhiêu chào lo, là cô nó sẽ hang bộ quảng trình bao nhiêu lệ phim nó. Y sâu chân nái bên chẳng chân nhây, rõ ràng thảo bùa tàu miền nhây khó nạn. Bà y cầm dìa con, nái tế cháu hai chữ miền là khu hang bùa sát gai mùi nó, phải hang biung chữ nhụt phôi gai.
Y bún y xiên mây cá ye nam y mai y bún mê dây mây cho